Tell them run it off.
What is going on? What is going on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell them run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell them run it off. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell them run it off. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell them run it off.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is for you guys. Welcome out. This is DJ Tech Thursday. And let's see if I can get this thing up without it breaking. There we go. It is DJ Tech Thursday. I am your host, Cleveland Terry. If you guys did not know who I was, now you know. This is going to be a rather relatively short show. I plan on getting on here till about 11:20. My daughter is graduating 5th grade. So I have to be there to support. So they say. This will be the third time I've seen a child graduate from 5th grade. And every single time it's been uneventful. But it's okay. It is okay because that's what we do as parents. We do things that we do not want to do. I know what I want to do today is I want to go see Spider-Verse. That's what I know I want to do. Probably won't. But that is what I want to do. So thank you guys for the congratulations. Honestly, real talk. The only thing I'm excited for is the fact that when my child goes to 6th grade, she will be going back to school. You see, she's been home. It is like a hybrid homeschool. So what happens is you do all your work at home, obviously, but like 1.5 days a week, you go into the school and you get some hands-on learning. It doesn't really do much. She's going back to full real school next year, or I guess next semester. I'm really excited about that because she needs to get out of my house. It's been too much. There is a reason that there is public school and that we want our children to go there. It has absolutely nothing to do with learning. Just, you need to get out of my house for a couple of hours every day. Please. All right. So, today is Tech Thursday. Like I said, it's going to be really quick, abridged, 1.5 hours maximum, because I got to run. Fortunately, the school is like 3 minutes away from me, and I will be literally getting off of this thing and then just driving over to the school. She'll probably want me to buy her something. I bought her a house. Congratulations. So, if you guys have any questions, you guys know what to do. You have the hashtag ask in front so I can see the comments and then go from there. Shout out to some of my members that are already on here. We got Sobra Harmony in the building. What is going on, fam? Good to see you. What else we got here? Dr. Mr. Peabody also in the building. What is going on? As you guys know, memberships are fairly important to the success and the longevity of the channel. So if you look down and you see a member or a join button on your phone or on your computer, becoming a member is like buying me a cup of decaf coffee, and I appreciate you. Next week we will have all the sponsors. Actually, the next video I do, we'll have all the sponsors in the at the end of the video. just to show some support. So I appreciate everybody that does it. Thank you so much. It helps the channel. It helps me, and I appreciate it. All right, who we got in the building here? We got I think it's Cheese Bro DJ service. There's a little bike run called Chess Bro where I live. So I always think that that's the same thing. I know it's not. DJ G5, the unknownism. I saw Mixmaster G in the building. RX3, Roy Calwood, Conrad Hayes, Pamela Gillis. Who else we got? DJ Matt Ames, Justin Spiegel. I think it's Ald Helm, DJ Island Boy, and DJ 6. 85 degrees and coffee. Wait for it. Not here. Not here. I don't think I've seen a cloud in, or I don't say cloud, a sunlight in like 6 months. In all honesty, this has been the most depressing year if you live in Southern California. The most depressing year I've ever experienced. I've never seen so many clouds in my life. It is always cloudy. It's not raining right now. It's supposed to rain next week, but it hasn't been good. It has not been good. The weather's tripping. Sergeant P says, is the DJ Expo worth attending this year? Well, I would say you have to look at your finances. That's the first thing. You know, does it make sense for you to go there? But as far as the Expo is concerned, as far as learning, the convention, the show floor, it's a good convention. It's for DJs, it's probably one of the best. And I love NAMM, but I think as far as just a DJ focused convention, it's good. It's good. It's really good. I will be going there. I will be going there in August. People think they can just call me whenever they want. I will be going there in August, and if you want to learn about DJ stuff, where is it? It's always in the same place, Atlantic City. But if you want to learn about DJ stuff, then yes, it's really one of the only places that focuses on DJs specifically. You know, there's lots of different conventions. I mean, MEX is good, but MEX is also photo booth. And so there is a split between courses and training. NAMM is obviously has a big DJ contingency, but it's not just for DJs, it's for the entire music industry. And, you know, we just happen to be a part of it. So I don't know. I will be there. I think it's good, but you know, if it's going to cost you, you know, $1,000 to $2,000 to get there, you know, are you going to get a return on your investment? You know, I don't know. The answer is probably no. But if it's close to you, if it's in driving distance, you know, if you're just going there for the convention, or I should say the show floor, yeah, I like it. I think they do a good job there. Okay. Aldhelm says, I am an artist. Is it worth the effort to promote my dance tracks directly to DJs? That's a good question. That is actually a very good question. Because I am one of those people that gets... Sorry, I have to snooze. I have to snooze Windows. I am one of those people that gets a lot of demos from people. Like a lot of demos. For some reason, people think that I'm like, I can do something for their careers. So, you know, a lot of DJs will send me stuff. Hey, you know, check this out. What do you think about this remix? What do you think about this edit? And I'll listen for the most part when I have time. I think that if you know, have faith in what you're doing. That's right. The game's on today too. I gotta watch the game. Basketball. Game 1. Of finals. If you love what you do, then you just do it regardless. Okay. If you're sending out your stuff to DJs, I would say for the most part, most DJs are probably not taking the time to listen, but you might end up finding somebody, or it doesn't take many. I mean, look, if you're sending out your music to, we'll just say 100 people, right? And 5 of them like it and play it. That's still good. Yeah, I mean, it's I think there are other avenues. I think you got things like SoundCloud and, Mixcloud and all the other promotions. If you're doing music, you got Spotify. Yeah, excuse me. You get all these places that are probably going to give more people access. I just don't think that a DJ is playing some unheard of song, especially if it is an original. Um, I just don't think that most DJs are going to be playing those in a spot where you're going to, see benefits from it personally, but that's the grind. That's the grind of being an artist. You're putting it out there. Um, I always say that the easiest way to get known is to do remixes, to do covers, um, to find a way to start bringing that kind of stuff in, doing blends. That's the kind of stuff that actually, helps you because, you can get out there. And the next thing you know, people are like, oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that cover? Did you hear that blend of this song? I'm going to use it for my reel. I'm going to use it for my TikTok, and then it can take off from there. I think that's more important. Um, okay. Ruben says, ask tips for DJing events for other DJs. I don't understand the question, Ruben. Um, tips for DJing. Tips for DJing events for other DJs. Okay. So I think what you're saying is, um, like anytime I go on to Twitch, all I have are DJs that are watching me. What do you do differently? Or if you're doing a show, if you're doing a showcase, like I believe I'm doing a couple of DJ showcases at the DJ Expo. And when you're DJing for DJs, it's a different vibe. It's a different everything. Um, it's not necessarily about DJing pop music, where you're going to have to still play pop music because you have, for the most part, in most places, you do have um, people that aren't DJs there. I mean, one of the things that I always hear when I see people DJing, it's like, oh, I see they're playing their wedding playlist. I see they're playing their bar mitzvah playlist. That's a dig on you. I think you play how you play, and if that's the way you play, that's the way you play. Now, of course, I know that DJs, when you are playing for them, for the most part, are expecting to hear stuff they haven't heard before. And I don't mean like you're playing some obscure music. I mean, they're expecting you to play, give me a remix I've never heard before. Give me a transition that I've never heard before. Give me some blend work. Give me some stem work that I haven't heard. Show me how you scratch. How do you incorporate that into your performances? Like all of those things are important. Now, this is what I will say. Because I am in the middle of it. I want to see how creative you are. That's the first thing. But I also want to see how you rock a floor. So there's your showcase DJs, and then there is like your party rock DJs, and then there's your party DJs, showcase DJs are like Four Color Zach, even Scratch Bastard. Those are showcase DJs. You go there to see what they're going to do. You're hoping to have an experience with them. Okay. They're going to play stuff that maybe you haven't heard. They're going to play stuff that doesn't really make sense. Scratch Bastard's a little different. Most of his stuff always makes sense, but like Four Color Zach, he'll be the first person to drop like a random, classic rock song, or a random, I don't know. Uh, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but he will drop something just strange. And that whole reason is to get him to whatever transition he's going into. That's a showcase DJ because that's not something that you can go and play at a nightclub or play at a personal event, because people will go, "What the hell are you playing?" and they're going to walk away, you know. So showcase DJs, you're going there to see this show. Um, when I went to Mex in what was that, February, January, and then they had their show at the end of the night, and they had multiple DJs. What I noticed was that there was a lot of DJs playing like what they would play on their parties, you know, on their weddings, on their bar mitzvahs, whatever. And for me personally, I was bored because I don't want to hear that. I want to hear you play some stuff that, you know, that is gonna motivate DJs, you know. So I think you need a hybrid of both. You know, you need to be playing stuff that people know, but just do it in a way that nobody has heard. You know, play your edits. You know, play your remixes. But make sure they make sense, because there's a lot of people out there that I've noticed that are playing like remixes that I personally would never play at a venue, you know, but they're playing them because, oh, I'm playing for DJs. You still have to have a flow to it. So there's no rhyme or reason, in all honesty, how you play for DJs. It depends on where you are. It depends on the situation you're in. Are you just playing for people standing around like a show? Are there other people? Because like at the photo booth conference at Mex, they chose to go either full wedding or try to be showcase. Here's the issue. There were photo booth people there, and the photo booth people came to party. So party with them, pack the dance floor, and go to town. You know, because every DJ in there would be like, "Hey man, he's got the crowd rocking. That's all that matters." So it just depends on the situation. JMAS Lighting in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Okay, let me go back up here. My daughter's getting a job. My 24-year-old is trying to move to a new job. It's hectic. I mean, I think. Keith just in the building. What's going on? Okay. Danny Baggett, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. Okay. DJ Marky Batch, do you prefer people watching on Twitch or YouTube? Well, I think the answer is pretty clear. I have moved my show over to YouTube exclusively. And when time is of the essence, I don't have a lot of time right now, to be honest with you. So it's going to slow down for me to a degree. In about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. After that, I'll have a lot more time to do whatever I want, even though I am traveling, even though I do have some destination weddings that I have to DJ. But in general, you know, it'll slow down. I will be able to put a little more attention onto certain things. And one of them is my interview show. I just haven't had time. Literally haven't had time, but we're going to get that going again. Okay. Robert Nestor. So I'm sorry, back to Marky. So the question is, do you prefer people watching on Twitch or YouTube? Well, they only have the choice of watching me on YouTube right now. I don't have an opinion. As long as people are watching on any platform, I don't really care where it comes from. You know, every platform I want to do every platform differently. That's the thing. You know, I'm not into just, you know, repeating the same thing over and over again. So, which is why this show makes sense. But the Tuesday show, wherever it's going to be, has to be completely different. And that's where I'm going with it. So I prefer any platform that does a job. If you are DJing and you want people to watch, I think Twitch is a better place. Unless you are an established DJ that, has a name for themselves. Um, I think a lot more people will watch on Twitch that don't necessarily watch, just to kind of see. So you have more opportunities there. Not to say you can't have opportunities on YouTube. There's plenty of people, although I haven't seen really any that are doing it. I haven't seen any live DJing, but I know it exists. It's not like it used to be during like right at the pandemic. But Twitch is, you can still go on right now and find people that are DJing. So I think Twitch is a better avenue. There's always a Mixcloud and Kick. Okay. All right. All right. Robert says, is it worth scripting every track and sound switch, or is it sufficient to let it run in sound mode with built-in templates? And then Ruben says, I script all the songs I use regularly and it makes it extra special. I'm probably going to go against the grain here. If you have the time and you really want to customize them, definitely. I just, I script specific songs. And when I say specific, I mean a handful of songs, maybe 20. Especially my opening dance set songs, those are all scripted. But just dancing at the rate that I DJ, at the amount of music that I'm pulling in or changing up, I don't script it for everything. But if you got the time, more power to you. I mean, I'm currently reviewing the Chevet DJ ILS system with a couple of moving heads and the gig bar. Haven't gotten the ILS command yet, just because they're really not available. I won't get it until July. But I have been using the gig bar move ILS with some other moving heads. I think the Chevet 150s. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've been impressed with I didn't think I was going to appreciate it as much as I actually do. It does a good job. I would say that if you're just using the ILS, and I know I just jumped from sound switch to ILS. If you're just using the gig bar move, I don't love it. I only love gig bar moves for super small events. Okay. 100 people, small venue, maybe 120. But with the ILS having the moving heads like on some totems next to it, and the ILS in the middle or the ILS off to the side, it's not bad. I cannot lie to you. It is not bad. And the programs that it runs automatically are very, very good. I'm impressed. They did it to me. I'm impressed. Okay. DJ Maxud. I think it's Maxud. Thank you very much for the words. Paul says, are you using stems much at events? I use stems every single event. Which stems do you find most useful? Do you think more effect options for stems will be an option anytime soon? Okay. I use stems every event. Every event. Best stem is acapella. It's subjective, DJ Willie Will. I use stems for transitions a lot. I use stems for scratch work a lot. I use stems on my gigs to mute out controversial topics and or for the MC to talk over the music. That way I can keep the music going and not have to turn it down. So yes, I use it all the time. Stems most useful. I think the root is instrumental and acapella. Either one or two. I think you need both. I probably use vocal mute more than anything else. But But vocal mute, removing the bass line is key for a lot of transitions. The key is, the bass line and the drums. Again, being able to scratch the vocals. Philip Tan in the building, what's going on? So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything that is the most popular or the most important. I think it depends on how you DJ. So, like I said, it's subjective. Some people are going to use it a certain ways, others are going to use it a different way. And I use them all kinds of ways. Acapella stems sometimes sound hollow without a slight echo effect. Of course. Yeah. Look, it's on the fly stems. You're not going to get it. It's never going to be perfect, but you don't have to have it perfect because in all honesty, you don't necessarily need to throw an acapella on. You just may need the drum in there also. I find as long as you have the drum in there, most of those weird artifacts will disappear. But just doing an acapella and then bringing a beat in, it really depends on the song. So I don't typically go, just acapella for the most part. I usually have some other elements in there. That way you don't get that hollow feeling. Yeah. And every so often, especially if you're dealing with like a track that's stereophonic, you might go to hit an acapella button, or you might hit a button and you'll notice that your stems will split out into this weird stereo file where it feels like it just jumped onto both speakers separately. So you have to be careful. You got to be careful. You just have to know, your music, just like anything else. Okay, let's see here. Subcontracting with a question mark. Max XPL. What is it? Can you be more specific, please? Ruben, I have a wedding and the groom is a club DJ. I've done plenty of weddings for club DJs and showcase DJs. Here's the thing. Most of the time they're hiring you because they know who you are. Okay. So they're hiring you because they trust that you will do what you do. So do what you do. Don't try to be something you're not, because it's going to show up. And if it's a club DJ, he's going to spot it a mile away. He hired you because he wants you to do your thing. I've done work for many, many club DJs. And a lot of times the reason why they hire you to do their wedding or to do their, mitzvah or whatever is because it's something that they can't do. They're like, oh, I do clubs. I don't want to do weddings. I don't like to do weddings. I don't know all the details and the intricacies of weddings, but you do. So you come do your thing for my wedding. So just do your thing. Honestly, just do your thing. I've done weddings. The worst part is doing weddings for like club DJs, and then they invite all of their club friends, and it's just different. But you got to do you. It's the same thing as if you go to a club, right? And let's say you're on a lineup, okay? And you got all these bomb ass club DJs there, and you're on a lineup, and you get in there and you start DJing. They're not expecting you to be somebody else. They're expecting you to be you, So whatever you are, that's what you do. Like it doesn't matter that Scratch Bastard might be going right after you. You can't all of a sudden try to sound like Scratch Bastard because he's going on after you, or because he went on before you. I've not done that with Scratch Bastard, but I've done it with some pretty big DJs. And I go on after them and I'm just like, okay, fine. But the difference is everybody's got their voice and their sound. I did this thing called Utopia, which is like a house Afro beats kind of international vibe thing. And the DJ before me was amazing. And the DJ after me was like this big time, house DJ. That could mess with you. But, if you go into it saying, well, they picked me to be here too. And they picked me to be after this guy or before this person. That means something. So just do what you do. Just do what you do. And there shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Romeo says, if the event location allows DJs to observe well-known DJs like yourself, are you okay with that? No, I'm not. You want to come see me? You come see me at a club. You want to come see me? You come see me at whatever live show I'm doing. If I'm doing a wedding or a bar mitzvah, I don't need you over there taking notes. In all honesty, and I'm not trying to be an ass. I mean, but seriously, I find that a lot of people, they come watch to learn, but they're really learning for themselves. And if they're in the area where I am, that's competition, and my competition does not come to see me. Does that make sense? you know, 'cause especially on private events, because you have your way about things, you have your way of doing things. And I'm not saying that just because I do it a certain way, that somebody who watches me can automatically take it and do what I do. I'm not saying that. There's a reason that, my company gets booked as much as it does. There's lots of people that do what we do. They just don't do it as well. And that's okay. Because there's a place for everybody, and there's enough work for everybody. But what I won't do is bring people into my realm, show them how to do all this stuff, and then have them go off and start their own company and take my work. No, nope. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. If you're just doing your thing, and I know that you're a good company, then great. Everybody wins. But if you're out there, because I've had companies like try to take my MCs and try to take my entertainers, that doesn't go well with me at all, because you're taking the shortcut. Wow, you're really good. You should come with me. Wow, you're really good. I should do that. No. What you're saying is, wow, I'm too lazy to build my own. I'm too lazy to train my own people. So I'm just going to take from the established one. No, doesn't work for me. I'm sure I went deeper into that question than you had intended, and don't take it personally if I'm, but I have a sore spot for that. Now, if I'm DJing at an event and you're there and you want to come check me out, more power to you. Come check me out. That's always a good time. But yeah. Anyway, there's a line. DJ Graphology, you are very, very welcome. Okay. DJ Max said, apps like Honeybook seem to streamline a lot of admin work related to bookings. How many gigs does DJ need to be regularly booking to justify paying for apps like that? There's no line. There's no line at all. You gotta use whatever. Okay. So when I first started, this was before Honeybook was even a thing. I don't even use Honeybook. I use a different thing. And to be honest with you, I think we're going to end up writing our own. But when I first started, everything was manual. Okay. Spreadsheets, signed, scanned documents, all of that drama. Once I got to a point where I could not maintain, and I don't know what that number is. Okay. That number might be different for you than it is for me. But I think that, it got to a point where I was like, we're going to start missing things. We're going to start forgetting to bill people. We're going to start, I don't remember what that number was. I think it was somewhere around 3 or 4 years into the business. So do the math. It was probably, I don't know, 100 plus events, maybe 1 to 200 events, somewhere in the middle. And when we got there, that was it. And then we moved over. So everybody's different though. Depends on what you're doing, the level that you're doing it at, how much communication is happening, how much billing, how it gets broken out. There's a lot of different ways. So I'm sorry that I can't really answer it because everybody's different. Okay. Okay. Do you have to reanalyze some of your tracks when you installed stems? Nope, because I have a MacBook Pro 14 and I don't analyze anything. If I had to get to a point where I had to analyze all of my stems, all of my music, I just wouldn't use it. In all honesty, I would not use it. If it doesn't stem on the fly, I want nothing to do with it. So, spend a little money, get yourself a computer that can handle stems, and go from there. I mean, look, in all honesty, there is a reason that I prefer Serato, and I prefer and even like virtual DJ. Like, I won't use stems for the most part on DJ. Um, and it's a shame too, because before Serato came out with their updated version, and then, you know, Virtual DJ came out with theirs, we all thought it was all okay. It's not okay. The stems coming out of DJ is pretty garbage. And I like DJ. DJ is a great program. And I know somebody asked about iPads. We'll talk about that in a minute too. But yeah, I won't use them. They don't sound good. They don't sound good. So yeah. Okay. Tip for you: 200 millisecond delay on your audio. Has nothing to do with that. It's not the delay. It's the internet. My internet gets stupid because sometimes I will pull the feed and I will be completely on. Other times it will be delayed. And every time I adjust, because it's already adjusted, to be honest with you, but every time I adjust, I run into this because let's see here. So right now it's at 100. I'm going to move it to 3 and see. Okay. Yeah. So, because if you haven't noticed, when I do my Instagram reels, every time I pull it down, it's always off by like it's usually between 3 and 500. Okay. When a DJ hires you, it's the biggest compliment. I agree. Have you used the Maui 28G3 at an event yet? If so, how did it sound and did it handle the event? Yes, I have. In fact, I'm going to do an updated video on it. I personally think that the Maui 28G3s are, for their size, are over. They're overdoing it. And what I mean by that is, they're exceeding expectations. In all honesty, I did not expect them to be as useful as they are, especially for the size. Now, are they as loud as the Bose, like the L132s? No, they are not. But they're kind of loud enough. And the sound, the musicality, the quality of the audio coming out of those speakers is really good. I'm not gonna lie. I I know the 44Gs are a completely different system. Okay, so I'm not gonna say. So I would get the 44Gs instead of the Bose, because to me the 44G is more like using like a normal setup. But for my parties of 100 to maybe 120, depending on the size of the room, those might be my go-to. For anything, around 100, I'm very impressed by them. Very impressed. Okay. DJ Max said, what are the main pros and cons of working as a part of a DJ group as opposed to doing everything solo? God, this is a very, very long answer that I'm going to try to abridge. Okay. Now, you said group. So group could mean a lot of different things. Okay. Group could mean you are teaming up with other companies to form like a super team where everything gets funneled through and then you all kind of split up the money evenly. That's not what I do. I'm a multi-op. So I own a company with my partner, and we do, anywhere between 350 to 500 events a year. All right. And we send out our crews to do these parties. We're working obviously also, but then we send out our crews too. So in theory, I'm still working alone, I guess you'd have to say, but working as a part of a DJ group, the cons are, I've seen this happen. And rarely does it work. And the reason why it doesn't work normally is because there are too many egos involved. Like I've seen people, there was one super group that came up to try to compete with us. and it was 3 average companies that joined. But then what I found out was, where I noticed was like, huh, interesting that like they've joined groups, but like there's only 1 or 2 people that are actually working every week, because the egos came into play. And then, they didn't want to act like one of them was better than the other. So, and again, the term groups, the main of working with the DJ group, that's the thing that's throwing me. Okay. So it's hard to answer that question, because that's throwing me a little bit. Solo, you have more control. That's it. Again, it depends. It depends. Because I don't understand, what exactly are we talking about when we use the term group? Are we talking about multi-op? Are we talking about merging with another company? Because anytime you merge with another company, it doesn't have to be DJing. It could be anything. It could be, you have a business and then you merge. Somebody's going. Somebody's getting screwed there. No matter how much you try to make it seem like, no, it's going to be fair. It's never fair. It is never fair. Somebody's getting screwed. Okay. DJ Willie Will, how much should a experienced wedding DJ be getting paid coming into a multi-op to start? I have no idea. How much do you think you should be paid? I can't answer that. Because everybody's pay is different. It depends on your experience. It depends on what you bring to the table. It depends on you knowing your value as a DJ. You setting your own rates. Could be anything. I have no idea. I know people that sometimes work for me. I mean, I know what their numbers are, and they are higher than what I would pay like an employee working for me. But then there's also a reason that we don't use them every single week. So that's it. Group meeting entertainment company that has 5 or 6 DJs who rotate during events. Okay, so you're talking about a multi-op. Yeah, so you're talking about a multi-op. So for you, the pros and cons of working at a multi-op. I mean, no, this is actually relatively easy. Okay, should be in theory. If you're working for a multi-op, you have more consistent work at less pay. I mean, that's pretty much it. More consistent work at less pay. Less, you don't have to market yourself pretty much at all. You're essentially an employee. Okay. So if you don't want the grind of having to go out there and get your own jobs and really talk to the clients and build their proposals and do all of these things, then a multi-op would be good for you. So I have a lot of multi-op employees that were in the that were in the club scene, or because I don't typically hire a lot of DJs that own their own companies. I think it's bad. It's just bad for you. It's bad for business. S1 Pro has been around forever. It's fine. It does a great job. I like both products. So if you have no intentions on trying to start your own business and trying to grow it yourself, a multi-op is a great opportunity for you, in my opinion. But don't go into a multi-op attempting to just leech from a company to build your own. That's trash. That is trash. Do your own thing. I'm hearing somebody at the door. Sorry. Okay. All right. Let's see here. What are the main pros? And answered that one. Removal of vocals. Okay. Good. All right. I think I've answered those. All right. Let's see here. Peter C says, is that mug very big or are you very small? I'm normal sized. Do I look small? No, it's actually, it's a big mug. It's an Ember. It's the It's not the small one. It's the big one. Don't be rude. Okay. Yeah, and Max good. Yeah, we all hire DJs with less experience. That's normal. I mean, if you're hiring a DJ with a whole bunch of experience, and I do not have small hands. Don't even try that. Um, all of a sudden I'm Trump. What was he doing? um, okay. I am not coming to Sweden unless somebody wants to pay for me to come to Sweden. Okay. Thoughts on the bows? I answered that one. Somebody says I have two. They work well for ceremonies. Yeah, they do a good job. I don't have an opinion. You know, I'm not a speaker snob. And I'm not saying anybody out there is a speaker snob. I'm not a speaker snob. I will use whatever sounds good enough. Okay. There's all these people that are like, oh God, don't use the Mackies. Don't use the Mackie Thumb Goes. Those aren't as good as the EVs. And, same people are saying that those aren't as good as the Bose. I'm like, they're good enough. They're good enough. All these people want like these, and I'm not saying if you get the Bose or if you get the EVs, do your thing. That's fine. All I'm saying is that if nobody in the audience recognizes the additional quality, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, especially when you're dealing with ceremonies with just like spoken word. Any speaker can do spoken word. Now, if you're asking me, am I using those things to power 100 people dance floor? No, I'm not. But there's a place for everything. Okay, I saw somebody saying, all right, DJ Willie Will. I left the multi out because one of the accounts was treating me like crap. I was there a lot, brought it up to the owner. He said it was his biggest account and did nothing. Okay, I get that. Celebro says, any idea when DJ controllers will be in stores? Not a fan of buying what I can't try. I mean, you can always get a new mark. They're always at Guitar Center. You can always get a Rev 7. Those are at Guitar Center. But yeah, as far as everything, it's just the demand is too high right now. They can't keep them in stock. So there's no need to have them in a store sitting there when they can't even keep them in stock right now. You'll just have to try them out when you go to an expo or when you go to, NAMM or something like that. No Rev 7 at my Guitar Center in AZ. Don't know what to tell you, man. Don't know what to tell you. I mean, I guess you don't really want a new controller. I don't know. I mean, in all honesty, I get it. I get it. People can't try the stuff. It's going to be hard to buy, but a lot of people are buying just to see, and they got to take it back. They got to take it back. But I mean, for the most part, there isn't a single controller out there around the Rev 7 that isn't quality. Rev 7, Rain 4. I mean, I get, the Flex 10, these are all quality. You're not going to go wrong with any of those. You could DJ an event on any controller. I can, and I do. One of the things I always say, how do I go about joining a DJ company? Now, okay. So sometimes DJs, and again, nephew watching in the building, I'm not speaking specifically to Derek the Nerd. I'm speaking to a lot of people because this is a question that comes up a lot more than you think. How do I go about this? How do I go about that? Everything that we do in life, guys and girls, there is a starting point, and nobody can really tell you what you should or should not be doing. What I mean by that is when somebody says to me, how do I go about, joining a DJ company. What have you tried? What have you tried? What have you done? Have you made a phone call? Have you walked up to their office? Have you just talked to them? Asked them what they need, what their expectations are. I feel like a lot of these answers are right in front of your faces, and then we just don't want to admit for them. So if somebody said to you, I'd like to do something, what's the next logical question that's going to come up? I will tell you. Next logical question is, cool. Do you have any video? Cool. Do you have a spot that I can listen to your mixes? Cool. How far along are you? What's your social presence? I'm going to go take a look at some of your DJing. Hey, I just went to your channel and you don't have a single DJ video up on your channel. So then what would be my indication that you're an actual DJ? All of these things are a part of you. They're part of you. I know people don't like to do social and they don't like to do all these things, but all of these little things define you. Do you have mixtapes up? Do you have a social media presence? Are you DJing anywhere right now? Do you have any video of what you do? Like this is just 4 things. And this is normal. This is normal stuff. Normal stuff. Nobody's going to do anything for you without an example of what you do. That you go apply at McDonald's. What do they ask you for? Your resume. Same thing applies for any company that you want to be hired by. Any company. You need a resume. It doesn't have to be a super strong resume, because like for us, even when we hire DJs, we hire club DJs that are kind of over the club thing and they just want a consistent pay. That's one thing. We don't typically hire brand new DJs because for us, the DJ is very, very important. I know at some companies, the MC is a priority. Not for us though. So it just depends on what your on what the company is. But we won't do anything without seeing some examples. And what I tell everybody, and I will say it one more time because I think people are dumb because this happens more than you think. If you are trying to get a job at a multi-op and you go there and you say, I want a job. And they say, cool, send me one of your mixes. That doesn't mean send me one of your trance mixes or your drum and bass mixes, or your nothing but, reggaeton mixes. That's not what it means. If you are going to a multi-op, that means they're doing a lot of parties. And if you've seen this company, if you've seen their videos, and you've seen samples, you know what they're doing. Don't give them something that does not pertain to their business because it won't make sense. Whatever you're doing, the mix should be based upon what they're doing. If they're a wedding DJ company, then you need to be giving them a wedding mix. That wedding mix should include a whole bunch of like pop and 90s and disco and maybe some Motown. Should be in all there, and maybe a 20-minute only, like you're flying through stuff. Because I just want to hear, what you consider to be good music and how you transition. That's it. That's it. Give them what they want. If you want to be a fashion designer and you go to this job interview and you look like garbage, and not in the ironic good way, then, they're going to walk away from you. If you're a model and you didn't put any makeup on and you look like trash, they're going to be like, this isn't going to work out. So, that's how we have to look at it. Okay. Thoughts on DJs having a press kit? I feel like we are saying the same thing. All right. So DJ Dell, it's the same thing. Your press kit doesn't really matter because your press kit is now been broken off. Okay. Your press kit is your SoundCloud, is your Mixcloud, is your social media presence. It's your Reels, it's your TikTok. This is all your demo reel now. All of it. This is your press kit. Now, you should have something that explains who you are and what you are. That should be in your press kit. You know, maybe in some logos and some pictures. Everybody should have that, because anytime somebody's like, "Oh, we want you to DJ here," I send them my press kit so they can make the flyer and all that stuff. You know, but social. In all honesty, anytime anybody's ever asked me to do something, they look at your socials, and then they want to go to like your SoundCloud. That's it. That's it. You know, they want to hear your mix. And then again, it's just like anything else. They want to hear your mix on how they think you're going to mix for them. So your SoundCloud or your Mixcloud or whatever you're using should be very clear as to what you're doing. You know, so if it's a wedding mix, it needs to say, wedding type mix, like, Drake type beat. It should say that wedding type mix, gym type mix, EDM type mix, because all of those things, because when somebody goes to your thing, if you haven't labeled them, you're just like, DJ Gel mix, and then they turn it on and it's a whole bunch of, whatever it is. People are going to go, "Oh, this is how they mix. This is their style. I'm not interested." So you gotta give them everything. State Farm in the building. What's going on? Okay. Samuel Patterson. Every time I DJ in a bar or a party, non-club, non-wedding, someone attempts to come camp out next to me to watch shadow me. Do you allow that, or do you hit them with the karate chop? If I'm at a public place, okay, bar, or a place I've been hired, it's fairly normal for people to look at what you do. Most people look at what you do because they're shocked, or they used to be a DJ and they want to come see what the new technology is and how people DJ. That's normal. That's normal. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I've literally had people, literally, like this, right next to me, so, it is what it is. My favorite part, because I do a lot of, especially when I'm doing clubs, T Diesel in the building. What's going on? I have a lot of remixes, and not in a bad way. There's some remixes out there. I noticed this as an East Coast thing. Some of the remixes you guys are playing, I don't understand how you play them on a party. In all honesty, they've lost every inherent musicality that the song used to be. There's a lot of that goes around. But my favorite part is when they're just like, "Oh man, it's not coming up on my Shazam. What song is this?" That's my favorite. So yeah, Shazam away. Good luck with that. Especially when I'm DJing clubs. Good luck with that. And I'm not talking like regular, standard clubs where you're going to play everything. I'm talking about like specific ones. Anyway, like for instance, when I play Motown on Monday, in a couple of weeks, that one, yeah, I'm going to be playing originals, but I'm also going to be playing a whole bunch of remixes that hopefully nobody's ever heard of. Okay. There's a lot of questions today, from people that I don't know. I kind of feel like if you watch my videos, you wouldn't ask. If you watch me, you wouldn't ask. So I'm going to assume that some people are new here. Welcome. Jack Temple asks, do you prefer a laptop or standalone, Pioneer or Denon, maybe Rain? First off, there is no Rain standalone. So I guess you've asked, that's 3 different questions in there. Do you prefer a laptop or standalone, Pioneer or DJ or maybe Rain? That's a lot of questions. The short answer is they're all good. They're all good, depending on what you use. Some people prefer standalone, some people prefer computers. I am a laptop person, because the gigs that I do a lot of times require the need for a computer. Whether it be pulling up stuff because I know they all have streaming now, but Um, but it could mean a lot of different things. Me pulling up music, or something that they need me to play, that maybe there is no version. So now they're like, can you play this YouTube? Or I got this speech that I need this one song, and I have this montage that I need you to play. So because I'm always going to need a computer of some kind, I'm still in it. And um, none of those standalones at the current time, hopefully it comes at some point, have stems. A lot of these don't have the ability to log into a regular venue like a hotel without jumping through hoops. And sometimes you just can't get on at all. So there's a lot of reasons why, I like using a computer based thing versus a standalone. Now, having said that, I love standalones. There's a lot of great ones out there, and I don't have a problem with pretty much any of them. Literally, I'm Extreme Pro right here, So I got tons of standalones here. Maybe even more on the horizon. Who knows? Okay. Where is the best place to stream music? Wow, there's a lot of new people here today. How you guys doing? Because these are definitely questions that I would have already answered in the past. Marky Batch, thank you so much. Thank you, appreciate that. Okay. Where is the best place to stream music? That's a very open question. If you're referring to streaming music, meaning to DJ, there is no best. Tidal is excellent. Beat Source is excellent. SoundCloud is SoundCloud. I prefer Tidal and Beat Source as my two streaming options. I think those are the most quality. What do you think of stems? I know I've answered this. I love stems and the possibility of AI being combined. Well, I don't know what you'd like AI to do for your stems. Because if I'm DJing and I'm playing Tupac, I don't want to AI that to make it sound like Michael Jackson. So that's hokey to me. So I don't care. It's going to get worse before it gets better with AI, because AI, people don't use AI. I should say social media does not use AI for the good of AI, because AI should be a welcoming experience to a degree, but everybody's always trying to find a way to turn it into something evil. So just like stems came along and all of a sudden everybody started coming up with every trash blend they could think of. The same thing is going to apply to this. It's not going to get any better. And we're early on. We're early on. Some people are going to want AI to DJ for them, says George White. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. I think that the future of DJing is safe, with some caveats. I think that if you were just a DJ playing songs from point A to point B, you're playing all the pop stuff that everybody's gonna play, and that's it. And you don't add any real dynamics. I think those lower level DJs are going to disappear with the advent of AI. I just think it's going to happen. However, those DJs that are doing more, those showcase DJs, those DJs that are that have that human element required in order for the party to exist. All of these things are still going to be necessary. The people element does not change. So if you're doing a wedding, they're still going to need an MC. They're going to need somebody to run the party. Maybe AI. one thing I could see AI doing is analyzing your mixes, right? Like the AI is analyzing the way you DJ, and then it just does that for you on your party. That's a thing that could definitely happen. Now again, you still need the human element. I mean, look, it's the same thing right now with AI. Okay, I'll give you the perfect example. Perfect example. So right now, if you go to like Chat GPT or whatever, and you ask it about me, tell me about Cleveland Terry, and it'll come up. Cleveland Terry is a YouTube guy. He does this, he does that. Cool. He also has a presence on this. Cool. And then it'll say some random thing that, oh, and he lives in this place and this thing, and he does this. I'm like, I've never done any of that. So the problem is for every right or multiple rights that an AI does, there is still the potential for a lot of wrongs. And that's the thing, which is why you always need a human element. I think somebody said online that because people were saying that, all of these AIs are going to replace their jobs. And it's like, no, they're not going to replace your job. There's still going to be a person that is programming that AI. It might minimize jobs, but it's never going to replace jobs. So, get in the habit of learning how these programs work, because what's going to happen is, hey, I'm going to say some mixes are trash. You're going to have sometimes where all of a sudden you got 3 songs that just mixing perfectly together. You're like, okay, AI. And then that next song is going to be so far off the map, or it's going to be playing a dirty version of a track when it should have been playing a clean version or whatever. Like all of these things are there. Now, how I want AI to work for me, how I want it to work for me. I want AI to know, like if I'm stemming, that I want the best possible version of the stems. So if I go to click on, acapella, for whatever reason, it's like, nope, you need the drums, because it's analyzed. It knows that if you just do the vocals, it's going to sound hollow, which you don't want. It's going to sound like trash. So don't do that. I want AI to be smart enough, most important thing for me, and it's already there. You ever used IG Reels, right? And then you put the captions on. You ever notice what it does now? It will bleep out the bad words and it'll put a little star next to the bad words. So it's a bad word and it's being bleeped out. It's something that you don't have to edit yourself. That's fantastic. Fantastic. What I want is an AI that I can say, bam, I'm only playing clean versions at this wedding. And first thing it does is while it's playing, it's muting out bad words of songs. It's just muting them out. That would be absolutely perfect. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go write a Chat GPT AI. But that would have to be incorporated into the program itself. Serato would have to build that in. Virtual DJ would have to build that in, so on and so forth. But it's there. It's there. That's what I'd like to see. Anyway, okay, let's see here. Nephew says, how does one get to DJ with you one day in history? That's hilarious. I don't know. Guess you'd have to come work for me or put me in a spot where you're DJing something and you want me to, close the night or whatever. I do gigs, You want me to travel somewhere? As long as you cover my transpo and pay me, I'll work. I'll go anywhere. I'm easy. I'm all about that money. It kind of depends on the size of a gig. Both to hear myself, most clubs have a nice PA, so I look in a smaller mixer so club dude or gal doesn't F your music. I'm not quite sure where Johnny is referring to. If you're referring to the S1, which I would never use for an actual party. Marky Batch, A Pioneer coming out with an RB DMX1 replacement. They have discontinued it now, but RB are promoting the Pro DJ Link with CDJ 3000. So, I couldn't answer that even if I wanted to. I still have the RB DMX1 sitting right over there, actually. I don't know. Don't have an answer for you. Don't know. DJ G5. Do people say you come off arrogant or an ass? That sounds personal. That sounds like you're asking me, do I know if I am arrogant or an ass? When people find out what I do, the first thing they say is, you must be arrogant or an ass. God. Sorry, my phone keeps ringing. I have been doing the YouTube thing for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. And I've always been known as the arrogant one. You put your nose in the air, come down out of there and start talking to us like we are, I don't know why. I don't know why people feel that way. But I definitely get that asshole tendency. A lot of people start off that way. And then once they get to know me, they realize, not that I'm an ass, not that I'm arrogant. I'm just very open. I'm very upfront, and I don't tolerate BS. That's it. But what also people don't know about me is that even if I don't like something, I'm going to tell you, I don't like it. And then we'll talk about it. And then after that, I've let it go. It's gone. It's off of me now. I no longer think about it. I don't hold grudges. Once I've said what I've said, it's over. So, yeah, I get arrogant. I get cocky. I get condescending. I get all the words. But the more people know me, the more people realize that it has nothing to do with that. It's not an arrogance. It is an honesty that a lot of people don't want to hear. So I get called arrogant. So I get called snobby because they don't want to hear the truth. People think that, I guess you have to be better than them in order to tell them the truth. I don't know. But I am who I am. And I dealt with that, and I went through that, and I've lived through that. And it's been good for me. Because a lot of people wanted me to change, and you should do this and you should do that. I'm like, nope, this is who I am. I know what my gut tells me. I know what works for me. And, that's where I am now. And I'm completely fine with it. And, if I'm not your cup of tea, I'm not your cup of tea. It's cool. There's plenty of people out there that do, great work. I mean, I am a humble individual. I know for a fact that right now there are thousands of people that have never heard of me in the DJ community, which I always find hilarious. I was with Mojax at Motown on Monday. I told this story, but I'll tell it one more time. And we were talking, and this guy comes up. Oh, Mojax, I just want you to know, man, you were the best. You were amazing. I love everything you do. I've been following you since the beginning. Can I get a picture? Can I get this? Can I get that? He's like, sure. He's like, hey, man, can you take a picture of us? Hands me the phone. And I'm like, yeah. And I take a picture. And he's like, oh, man. And he's talking to me. Mojax, he's great, isn't he? He's amazing. I'm like, yeah, he is. Yeah. He's, oh, what do you do? Oh, I do I do some social stuff too. Oh, cool, man. Cool. All right, Mojax, back to Mojax. It was so weird that even Mojax was like, how does he not know you? And like all the stuff that we do. And I'm like, I get it. It happens. It is what it is. So I don't stress over that. Can't have an ego when, 80% of the world, probably 80%, 98% of the world doesn't know you, So it is what it is. Okay. Uh, Graphology. The AI censor mode could be good, but some song content is so bad that bleeping out curse words could ruin the whole song. Then you shouldn't be playing that song in a clean environment, is what I would say. I mean, if it's that bad, then I'm not playing that. So, it is what it is. I think we still have to have that uh, user experience to go along with it. If you don't have it, it's not going to matter. Nope. My son still DJs. Nephew, he's actually training to be one of our DJs. So he shadows me a lot, and he'll be good. I'm not worried about him. Let's see here. DJ6, I don't know who you are. The YouTube algorithm brought me here. That's fine. Like, I'm fine with that. Trust me, I'm fine, Matt. It's legitimately 3 minutes away from me. At 11:25, I'm out of here. And they still got to go through the things, all the talking and the dumb songs that they sing, all that stuff that nobody cares about, but we act like we love. Look, the fact is, the more children you have, the more children get screwed. I love my children, right? But every time I do bar mitzvahs for a living, it's not just me. Every time I get to the third bar mitzvah for a client, they're like, "Oh my God, I totally forgot. We have our kids' bar mitzvah in like 3 months. I guess I got to book you guys." Like, they're just not even interested because that third one, the third child gets screwed every time. Every time. I was a middle child, so I got screwed for my entire life. At least the third child gets or the last child gets all the bonuses, and they have less discipline because you're just like, "I'm too tired. I'm too tired to care. Just don't drink the cyanide and we'll be good. Okay? Don't put your head in the oven and don't burn yourself and we'll be good." I didn't have, but everybody's different. Like, my daughter didn't have my son is 16. He'll be 17 in a couple of months. He was never that parental figure. Never. Like, when I was growing up, I took care of my little sister and brother. So, different world though. Different world. It is such a different world. Anyway, well, that's another story that we'll go to maybe next week. CT in the back of the graduation with the understanding dads. Exactly. CT, tell them not to confuse confidence with cockiness. You know what I've learned, Ashcraft? I've learned that people form their own judgments with or without you. In the social world, nobody needs you to form their own judgments. Nobody needs you to explain. They've already made up their mind. That's what I've learned. So I just stopped caring. I don't argue with people on social anymore. It's dumb. It's dumb. They have already made up their mind. So I'm just glad I have people like you, who are here and they, want to be here and they enjoy being here. That's the most important part for me. Let's see what their numbers are for my show today. Okay, 115. That's not bad at all. I'm not mad at that. Okay, so yeah, see, my daughter hasn't even left yet. They're still here. I just heard my daughter walk, and she's not even left the house yet. Why am I running out? She's not even there. It's her thing. Okay, let's see here. Simply Coco in the building. What's going on? Thanks for hanging out today. Okay, Carl D. Help me, please. I have a couple that want the disco ball effect, but the dance floor space is so huge. Do you recommend any disco ball effect lights? I have Sound Switch and use Donner Wireless GMX. No. I mean, you can make a mirror ball effect with a swarm effects. Just turn on the white, have the thing rotate, that'll definitely give you a mirror ball effect. The Swarm effects, I know ADJ makes one, and Cheve makes one. I mean, you could rent yourself a mirror ball and hang it from the ceiling. That's another way. They still make mirror balls. They still rent them. But I don't really care about that kind of stuff. In all honesty, it's not my thing. I cannot talk about speaker placement today, GigWebs. I don't have the energy or the time. I got to get out of here in like 2 minutes. But Ruckus in the building, what's going on? But I will tell you this. Speaker placement is relative to the dance floor. It's relative to where you are. It's relative to the size of the party. If it's just a traditional, 20 by 20 dance floor, you want the speakers to be typically either right to the side of you or slightly in front of you. Could they be behind you? I know people that do that. If you don't care about your hearing, not a big deal. But they should be a little bit in front of you. If you don't want it to be too loud, you can extend and have another set of speakers, at the end of the dance floor, doing almost a four corners approach. That way you can drop all the volume down. I don't personally do that for anything of like a 20 by 20. I don't think it's necessary. I know people are silly when they're like, you got to do this. No, you don't. Not for a 20 by 20 dance floor. I don't think you have to go up to like multiple sets of speakers until you reach, maybe like a 27 by 27 or higher. But whatever. I don't think there's a right or wrong for it. It depends on the party you're doing. Okay. As far as mobile gigs like weddings, bars, parties, etc., do you think it's as cutthroat as it was in the late 90s as far as competition, or do you think there's enough work for everybody? There's always been enough work for everybody. The problem is people don't want to extend past what it is that they know. Meaning, it's like a woman who is trying to date a married man. It's not that woman or man, we flip it around and say man versus women. It's not that the woman is incapable of getting her own man. It's just easier to take that man. He's got all the things I like. He's got all the things I want. I'm going to go after that man. That's the same thing that DJ gigs are. There's plenty of work that you can go. Now, that work might not be, across the street from your house. That work might be 30 minutes away, 45 minutes away, an hour away. But the work is always there. The work is always available. So, it's always been cutthroat. People are lazy. So when there are lazy people, there are cutthroat people. I was talking about this earlier about guys, other companies taking my MCs and my dancers and my DJs. That's lazy. Make your own. But in my work, I have done events upwards of, on a Saturday night, the maximum I've ever done is 12 events. I've done 12 events on a Saturday night. 12 bar mitzvahs. And I've just scratched the surface. Everybody else is working too. So if everybody else is working, there's enough work for everyone, in my opinion. Okay. Okay, I think I'm good. Mulberry in the building. What's going on? I saw Catherine. What's going on, Catherine? Good to see you. Have you noticed that the pull sides are back on Twitch, getting many thousands of views, and DJ struggling with 50 views? Well, pull side. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. Boobies always trump DJs. The sooner we can realize that, the better we'll be. You're not going to beat boobies, okay? Because dudes are stupid and they only care about boobies. So you're not going to beat that. I guess you'll just have to boobie yourself. Time to get a surgery. Anyway, uh, there's a reason that typically pretty girls or well endowed girls do better because of dudes. Because dudes are stupid. Now, talented or not, I'm not talking about, because I know a lot of pretty ass girl DJs that are amazing, amazing. But that's not what dudes are interested in. Not men. I'm talking about dudes. Okay? Not men. Dudes. It is what it is. That's never going to change. It's never going to change. This is where we are as a civilization. And the older we get, I always remember that Patrice O'Neill comedy, and he was talking about. He said, the older I get, the more of a pervert I become. He's like, I can't even like look away anymore. Like I'm just like, I have to look. Like I gotta look now. It's just I can't control it. I'm a pervert now. And he's true. It's true. You just lose eyeball strength. So if you want viewers, just put a hot chick in front of a camera. I've seen hot chicks in a jacuzzi, not talking about anything, not doing anything, with thousands of followers. They don't want to see us, 40-plus-year-old men, DJing in our bedroom. I mean, if you really think about it, just for one moment, if you just kind of put it into perspective, it's amazing people watch us at all. We are like the epitome of a garbage guy. Oh yeah, he stays at home all day. He just DJs in his bedroom. He's old. Maybe lives with his mother. He's out of shape because he never works out, because he's just, in his room all day learning how to DJ. Get on his channel. He wants to play you his obscure track of this 1977, third edition of blah, blah, blah. Why would somebody want to see that? I'm sorry if I just made life real for a lot of you. I'm sorry. And hey, look, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I work out too, but I know that, for the most part, I know that they want to see the young people. They want to see young people. They want to see hard bodies. Sorry, guys. That's just life. Anyway, how long a DJ should play at a given time? If we're talking about streaming, I mean, in reality, you got to play for about 2 hours. That's just facts of streaming, because it takes 30 minutes just to get people on your stream. And then it takes another 30 minutes to start building that stream up. And typically by that last hour, you're in a good place. All right. You hear that noise? But DJ Six, you're having fun doing it. You're having fun doing it. That's the most important part. All right, y'all. This was great. Great time. I sometimes I'll stay on for like 3 hours. What about gigs? There's no timeline for gigs. You do the gig for how long they pay you. Like I have a maximum and I have a minimum. My minimum is I'm not doing any gig where I don't get paid for 2 hours plus. If you want me there for an hour, that's fine. You're still going to pay me for 2 hours plus. Anyway, but then I'll have a window. Like I don't DJ more than like 5 or 6 hours. And if they wanted that long, I send another one of my DJs. Anyway, all right, I'm going to my kids' thing. Enjoy your day. I appreciate you. 60 minutes. So, once again, thank you guys for hanging out. Gotta go. It's been great. I'll see you next Thursday. As always, yeah. Like I said, see, I need another day. That Thursday, it's great once a week, but I need another day in there somewhere. All right, y'all. Enjoy your day. I have a free day today, which means I have no client meetings, which means today I'm making content. Yay for content. So that's coming today. All right, y'all. Enjoy your day. See you soon. Peace out. Thanks to all my members. Appreciate you. If you're not a member, hit that member button, hit that join button, whichever one is showing on your phone or on your computer. And we'll see you next week. Peace out.